Okay, Lohi, we're back. Let's say hello to our audience. Hello, internet friends.
Hey guys, how's it going?
All right, so it's Thursday, and we're back with another new Comics Day review. And Lohi, it's a big week for you. It's a pretty decent sized week for me.
Yeah, I think I've got like 7 or 8 titles, around
That's
seven,
not
eight titles.
that's not bad. Usually you go for 10 plus, so that's a
Yes,
positive thing.
absolutely. So I'm all
All
in
right,
there. There
let's
are
get it
some
going, shall we? Let's not waste time. Let's get going. All right. Now this
absolutely,
week we're going to start off with Dynamite,
absolutely.
Dynamite Entertainment, and me and Lohi have the same book, and we actually both have the physical copy. This is the latest, or the newest issue from superstar cover artist Shannon Mayer. This is actually his first series where he does interior, and I think he's writing it, cover artist and interior artist. This is Sirens Gate #1
And I'm a
with the
digital guy, but for this, I went physical too. So there you go.
yeah. Well, me and Lohi really, when we saw the cover for this, like, yo, we got to get this, and we
Absolutely.
did. Lohi, let's hear what you thought about it. Now I'll chime in after you're done.
Very simple. Art, sublime, art, superb, interior artwork. The first time, I mean, it's one of the few times it's like an Alex Ross book, where the cover art
Yeah.
is the same as the internal art,
Hmm.
right? All nice. Artwork, sublime, supreme, painted art, digital
Yep.
art, whatever you want to call it. Awesome.
Mm.
Story, it's okay. It's not
Yeah.
too bad. It doesn't give you too much at the moment,
Right.
and where it starts at a somewhere at the midpoint. I mean, it doesn't feel like one of those, when they give you like a character introduction and what the character
Sure.
is about and all. It just drops in somewhere in the middle, and then
Right.
there is the main character and all, and then the main character is basically this aspiring writer who works in this basically CD kind of a bar,
Right.
or let's say I think I can say strip club here. So she works in a strip club,
Yeah, I
and
think it's
then
actually called the Kitty Cat Club.
yeah, Kitty Clack Club, and then yeah, somebody she gets an invitation basically from one of these writers, she
Assistant.
likes a lot. So,
Yeah.
and that's the whole story basically, at least for issue one. So we
Right.
don't know. I don't think we can judge this book by issue one itself.
Right.
So the one thing that initially bothered me about this book was that the dialogue. It's not
Yeah.
like your usual word bubble. It's like kind of like a, I don't know, PS2 game. You know,
Right. Reads like a video game. It's what do
yeah,
you call
yeah,
it?
it just
Subtitle.
comes out. So only the lettering is there. There is no thought bubble or something,
Hmm.
which is fine. It
Yeah.
doesn't need to have. But then it plays like a cutscene of a game rather than a comic.
Yeah. That sounds like that's a really good description for it.
Yeah,
For me, I felt like I'm reading like a Twilight fanfic.
could be. You never know.
It's a little bit like that. So far, I mean, yeah, the story is just there. I think we really buy this with the art, but the story's not bad. It's just there. It's an
Right.
average story.
Absolutely.
I'm going to check out issue two, see where it brings me. I mean, especially the art is gorgeous, and Shannon Mayer is really known for drawing covers of beautiful women, and now you get a full spread of it.
So
So
you know me, I'm a
as far
dynamite
as art
guy.
goes, yeah, this is terrific. We love it.
So yeah, I'm a dynamite guy.
All
So
right,
dynamite, I've been buying Shannon Mayer art for a long time.
okay,
So yeah,
yeah,
so yeah, it is.
mm.
So I've been buying this Shannon Mayer
Okay.
art for a long time. So yeah, we'll continue to buy
Mm.
this.
Mm. All right. You have any more dynamite? We're moving on to.
I do have a dynamite book.
All right.
So yeah, so
NYX Knicks #10.
it is Nick's number 10. This is the final issue of Nick's. I was pretty happy with this story, to be honest.
Mm.
I had no clue when I was jumping into Nick's part one of who
Mm.
this character is and what she does and all. So she comes out of the Vampirella books basically, and it's like a spin-off book. Usually these spin-off books don't do that well, but for Nick's, I mean, I was pleasantly surprised. The artwork is by Mark Borstow, which is
Yeah.
phenomenal, and Christos Gage. He's written stuff for DC and Marvel before,
Yeah.
so his story was pretty good. I mean, the story is what gets you finally. So yeah, this is the final issue. I would recommend 100% anyone who wants to jump into a Dynamite book to go for Nyx, because it's
Cool.
not your traditional run of the mill comic. It gives you something different. So who is Nyx? Nyx is this, of course, as I've been telling you, like she's the daughter of this mad god Chaos, and her
Mm-hmm.
whole goal is to bring her father down because he's pure evil. And she has now these siblings whom she's like, she's helped in kind of babysitting them and growing them, and now they're all like in their teenage years. So all of these siblings and her take down Mad God Chaos. That's what this issue is all about. This is the final issue, and this features a big confrontation. It's just battle after battle after battle with all the siblings, and in the end, there is a very heartwarming ending. It does its job. So you feel that, okay, I've been with 10 issues with you guys, and I want a good ending, and it was a good ending considering who the character is and all. So
Right.
Christoph Cage has an understanding of what makes Nick stick,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a total recommendation for me. And the
Cool.
covers
All
are
right. Lohi likes Knicks, number 10, and the last issue. All
absolutely.
right. Let's move on to the next publisher is Marvel Comics. Let's see. Let's get to there. Here we go. All right. So this is the only Marvel book I read this week. It's Ant-Man number 4.
And
Yep. Written by Al Ewing. Art by Tom Riley.
this
Also,
is the last issue, right?
yeah, this is the last issue of the what do you call of this mini series. It also featured additional art by Alan Davis, which is one of my favorite artists of all time. This issue is really cool. It has it says takes place in the future, right? Where Ultron has gained power of the Asgardian magic, so he calls himself All Father Ultron. And one of the cool part is that there's actually, since it takes to the future, they do like remember like when you read a comic when it cites what happened in other books, you'll say like, oh, see issue number blah from Spider-Man blah blah blah, right?
Yeah.
This since like this future story takes so far in the future, you'll say, like, it says, oh, see Thor number 3432. I thought that was a cool part. Yeah. Anyway, basic story is that this Ant-Man in the future has called upon the 3 different Ant-Man from the past to help him fight the All Father Ultron. Yeah, it's very action packed. Al Ewing's written it very well. Tom Riley's art is perfect for this. Give you that little bit Silver Age feel to it. Even though this series, I mean, this story, particularly part of this story, takes place in the future. And also, he sets up for actually the same team will be back next year to do a Wasp series, which I'm excited to see what he can do. Ant-Man, it's a pleasant surprise. I mean, I wasn't even going to buy this book, but out of whim, I picked it up and I really enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite miniseries of the year. Al Ewing's a good actor, good writer, and he's proven it here.
I've heard universally good praise about this book. And
yeah,
it also proves that you don't need 75 issues to write a good story.
No, exactly. You don't need
6 is
four,
enough.
4 issue was enough, and that's what he did, and it's perfect. And also, each issue pay homage, not homage, pay respect to the different Ant-Man. The first one is issue 1 is a Hank Pym story. Issue 2 is a Scott Lang story. Issue 3 is Aaron O'Grady story. So the 3 Ant-Man, they all play their parts.
I don't know much about Eric O'Grady, so do I need to know that before jumping in?
They actually in issue 3 they give you like a little rundown of who he is, what he's about.
Okay.
You catch up pretty easily.
Okay, that's cool.
Which is why this series is so good. You don't need to read any previous stuff, to get the story.
Totally getting this trade, man. 100%.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a recommendation from Ben.
Yeah, I really like the series. And the next one is a book that I will never able to afford, unless, again, I think we talk about this every time I buy one of these facsimile edition books. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 1, written by the legendary Stan Lee. Art, there we go. Yep, by our boy Neil's favorite artist, Steve Ditko.
Who's he?
Who's Steve Ditko? I don't know. Some old guy.
I'm just kidding.
We love you, Neil. Shouts out to you, bud.
There you go. Ditko created Spider-Man.
Yeah. So here you go. So this in honor of our boy Neil, I bought this, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, how can you not, how can you pass down owning Amazing Spider-Man #1, no matter what kind of version it is, right?
Yeah, that is true.
That's it. That's all my Marvel books this week, and Marvel really doesn't have any books this week. Do you have any?
None. I actually wanted to get the Dan Slott issue 1 for Spider-Man, the new issue 1.
Yeah.
But I kind of passed on it. So, because
Yeah, I would pass on it too. Although that Scotty Young cover, if it's on sale, I'll pick it up. Other than that, it's not very good.
yeah, absolutely. I also wanted. Did you pick up this Tomb of Dracula facsimile by any chance?
I own the original issue, so I didn't buy it.
You own the original issue? Wow, that's cool, man. So
I mean, it's not granted. It's not the best condition or anything, but
fine.
it's something I've always wanted. I bought it about a decade ago for around like $20, something like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Still, so that's cool, man. Okay, so what is next is Image Comics.
Okay, what do you got? Do you have anything?
I wanted to buy this Dark Ride. I like this cover too.
The Little Mermaid one is really cool.
Yeah, the Little Mermaid.
There's also a thank you cover they didn't show. It's like a Walt Disney cover too. That looks really cool.
Right.
Yeah, I flipped through it. It looks really, really good. I actually did pre-order that from DCBS, which I should get it next week.
The Disney one? This one?
No, that's the one for 25 cover. I just bought like a regular issue cover.
Regular issue cover. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me know how it is. I've heard good things. Again, Joshua Williamson is pretty good. So
I flipped through it when I was at Midtown Comics, and the art looks really, really good, and the story actually looks very, it's a horror story, and I thought, it really just flipping through it, I kind of get the gist of the story, and I think I dig it, and I pre-ordered the first 3 issues, so I think
gist is like basically this is like a place like Disneyland, and if you
but like a horror version,
horror Disneyland. So
yeah,
I'm excited. I'll probably get it at some point. What I did get from Image was this.
Junkyard Joe #1, Jeff Jones, art by Gary Frank. I bought that too. I mean, I don't have it, but I pre-ordered that so I should get that next week. I'm excited. This is from the same universe as Geiger, which is a series I really I liked a lot. So, what do you think? You read Geiger, right?
Of course, I read Geiger. I read the 80-page, the annual issue. I read everything. So,
cool. Me too.
One thing I've said time and time again: Gary Frank is my favorite artist.
He's a very good artist.
He's my favorite artist. Everything he's touched, like after Doomsday Clock or even Squadron Supreme, Supreme Power with JMS and all, it's all gold, and even Batman Year One, everything he draws is so sublime. He can do the really dark art. He can do so, oh my God. So the same thing you get from Gary Frank here. He's always consistent, never lets you down.
Right.
Jeff Johns, Jeff Johns is pretty solid as usual. He understands this Geiger universe, So Brad Anderson, I think this is probably one of the strongest trios in comic book mythology ever. So yeah, and the story, it doesn't disappoint. So this is again Junkyard Joe. He was introduced in the pages of Geiger, so he's like a metallic robot soldier, and this takes place in the era of Vietnam. So it's a Junkyard Joe story. So he's sent basically along with this platoon to go to the jungles of Vietnam and to get the VC. So and it's a very heartwarming story of what happens in the end. Like in half of the issue, he doesn't even speak. And so it's all about these bunch of this ragtag band of soldiers dealing with each other, having fun, and at the same time dealing with this. They're in an alien country. They don't want to be there. They just want to go home. That's their whole goal. So it's a very emotional story. Hits you to the core. There are a lot of gruesome deaths here. So be prepared for that. It kind of gives you that Apocalypse Now vibe. And Jeff Johns knows his characters. He knows how to nail them. So, he does that. So 100% recommendation. There is a black and white variant of this. And if you buy that black and white variant, then the proceeds are going to like veterans in the United States and the United Kingdom. So, it's also, I was reading an interview with Jeff Johns, and what he said is that all the stories which he does, it comes out of an emotion, like Blackest Night was an emotion of death. He wrote Stargirl because his sister passed away, and it was a homage to her. So this is basically kind of, a tribute to PTSD, and at the same time, how war veterans feel. It's a tribute to veterans, war veterans, people who have to go to a war, see horrible tragedies, so this is what this is. So issue 1 is just the beginning. I've heard that issue 2 and 3, they take a total different turn, which is a pleasant turn. So, but this is just an introduction to Junkyard Joe, who he is, what he does. So he's a robotic soldier. So, and he has to go with this platoon, and that's what this is all about. And it was so good that it is my pick of the week. 100%.
Wow.
There is no doubt about it.
I cannot wait to read it myself once this gets shipped to me. Again, I love Geiger. I'm a big fan of Jeff Jones. Well, most of his stuff, majority of his stuff, and Gary Frank, of course, is also one of my favorite artists as well. So this team has been really good, and I can't wait to read it. And I'll get back to you once I do.
Absolutely. So pick of the week, Junkyard Joe, no doubt about it.
Joe, how about that? All right. You got any more Image books, buddy?
Image books, I don't think. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Image, I don't. Yeah, I don't think so. That was my.
I have.
You have Kaya, right?
I have Kaya. Kaya number 1 is written by Wes Craig, as you notice right over here. It's actually signed by Wes Craig. He happened to be at Midtown Comics yesterday and actually signed a bunch of copies for people there. So I got an autograph copy. How about that, Lohit?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's cool, man. That is awesome.
I don't know. I mean, when originally I wasn't going to get it, but the man was there, so I was like, all right, you show up.
Sometimes you do this, like even for me, like when Toronto Comic Con, I met Tom King. I got the Batman Riddler issue, which I mean, I was like, I got it, and he was there, so I just got it signed from him. I just I needed to have something. He was there, so so it is what it is.
I gotta say, it's a pleasantly very good book. It's an adventure book about this girl.
Yeah.
And the prince through this desolate desert, where away from the homeland, who was devastated by this evil force. Okay. And she has magic arm, which is does various superpowers, including superhuman strength and energy manipulation. So on their way, they met a bunch of lizards, okay, like humanoid lizards, and they're about to kill the kid, and then turned out that another group of lizards showed up. Apparently, one of the lizards is actually family friend of our main character, and he calls it off. So they offered her a choice. Is that they want to go to this specific place, but it's really, really far away. And they don't have any food, they don't have any supplies. So they're like, you know what? If you would join us, we're hunting this really dangerous monster. And if once we kill him, we could sell the carcass for a lot of money. We'll give you, your share, and you can use that money to go where you want to go. And initially, she was, reluctant about doing it, but she realized that she really don't have a choice, right? Because they don't have anything. They don't have food. The prince had to give up one of his family heirlooms just to get a piece of meat. This is they're very desperate at this point.
Okay. Do they explain where she got that magic arm or something? No.
Explain. So this is their issue 1. They don't explain. There's no origin story. All you know is that she's there to protect the kid. She has this magic, this special superpower arm, and their homeland, the homeland is destroyed. So they're on the run. They're trying to find like this place they're supposed to is offering them safety and shelter.
Do you get a sense of her age? Is she like a teenager or something?
I think so. I think she might be in her like mid-teens. She's like a tween.
Okay.
Yeah, and the kid maybe is like 7 or 8 years old. Yeah, it's good. The art actually draws a lot like Mike Mignola, which is what's wrong with that? Mike Mignola.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm giving it a shot. I enjoyed it quite a lot.
Okay, cool. If you like it, then I will read it at some point for sure.
Cool. All right. And next book I actually haven't read is the latest issue of Rogue Sun number 7. Now, Rogue Sun is usually my favorite title from the Masterverse. I just haven't got a chance to do it. I'm recovering from getting my COVID booster, so I just didn't have energy. I did go through it. This is an interesting story because this is written like a choose your own adventure books. Look, you ever read one of those?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So basically, every couple pages, like, if you pick this, go to page 7 to see what happened. Or if you pick this, go to page 9.
What?
I thought it was a nice touch. I don't know how they're gonna do it for like a 32-page book, but that's how this book was written.
They tried that for some Netflix stories. Didn't
Oh
work.
yeah, Black Mirror did that.
Yeah.
So I've never seen that done in a comic book, but that's
Yeah.
what they do in this one.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we'll see how it is. I'm going to read this tomorrow, but usually, Rogue Sun is my favorite Masterverse book. It's one of my
Yeah,
favorite.
it's a good book. I've read the first trade, so I'm all caught up. So I've read the
Right.
first six
Yeah, this is
issues.
the second arc. Dylan's now living with his, his step family,
Yeah.
and he's of course not getting along with his step siblings and stuff like that.
So how
And
do you
still trying to,
continue it? Like, for
trying to
example,
live their life as a normal teenager as well as the new Rogue Sun superhero.
how do you continue it, Ben?
Huh?
So, for example, if I choose a story path, what
Yeah.
happens in issue 2?
I don't know, but this is I'm not sure that it does that way with next issue, but this issue is like that. He's fighting the supervillain. It's like, so, and he's like, oh, if you want to save the this collapsed building, go to
Yeah.
page 7. You want to save like these, these innocent bystanders, go to page 9. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. So, but I haven't got a chance to do that yet. Again, this is the only book I didn't read this week. I'll let you know. I'll message you later and I'll tell you how it is.
Yeah, because I'm still curious if there are like 5 endings. I only read like one of them. Will I
Mm-hmm.
just able to follow issue 2 or something, like issue 8 or something? I don't know. How does that all work?
Well, we'll see once I
Yeah,
actually read it.
that's a pretty interesting concept.
All right. So we're
Rogue
done
One.
with Image.
Yeah, man.
Unless you have more. Do you have an Image? You're good, right?
No, I'm good.
All right. Let's go to DC Comics. Now, Lohi, my friend, I'm just going to do this real quick, all right? My cover art, cover pick of the week is this Poison Ivy #4 by the talented and lovely Soza Micah. This book's supposed to come out a month ago, but for some reason, it came out yesterday, right? And Lohi got it too because he knows how gorgeous. All right, I see the lips. Very pretty, all right? Very luscious lips. It's
Pick
crazy.
some of those.
The regular issue 5 came out yesterday, along with this cover for issue 4. But yeah, we love this cover, and this is my cover pick of the week. Lohi, is it your cover pick of the week?
It's that or Siren's Gate, one of the two. But I think I'll go for
Okay.
Sozomaica. I think I'll go for
All
Sozomaica.
right. So
So yeah.
you're
So
the DC guy. What did you read for DC this week? I
I
don't have
read
any
a
DC books
lot
outside.
of DC. I read a lot of DC, and I was pretty happy with DC this week. So some good books.
Okay.
We will start with what? Batman 128, the fail-safe arc, basically.
I did order that, and hopefully it'll arrive next week.
So particularly this issue, failsafe is like a robot, and he's like an contingency to Batman. So he's there to take down Batman and all his fellow Justice
Family.
Leaguers.
Yep.
So he's got like files. He's been manufactured by Batman. So he
Yep.
knows all the weaknesses of all his friends, including the
Yep.
Justice League, the Batman family, and everything. And he's just tearing them apart to shreds. And Superman comes in. Like the starting of this book is Superman versus Failsafe, and
Yep.
he beats Superman because he has kryptonite, of course.
Ah.
So he beats Superman like really bad. So Batman and Superman, like Tim Drake helps them escape.
Right.
So yeah, so they're regrouping. They're trying to use different tactics. Meanwhile, Nightwing and the Bat Family are there in Gotham downtown, where Failsafe is, they're still looking for him. And this is the Batman of Zur and R. So
Right.
he's like only Batman, no Bruce Wayne. So it's a
Yeah.
mental battle. So, so he said he needs to be the best Batman he can be without any Bruce Wayne connections. So, so he brings out the Batman of Zur and R. That's
Right.
also not enough. So yeah, so Failsafe is a force to reckon with, and
Right.
it's going in the right direction. It's what the Batman book needs, the main title at least.
Sure.
So yeah, I'm digging this. So let's see where it goes. This failsafe thing, it started out as a gimmick, but it leads to a lot of Tower of Babel stuff.
Right.
In Tower of Babel, it's Batman who has all these contingencies against Justice Leaguers.
Mhm.
In this case, but this contingency, how he has been launched, why he was activated, they haven't told us that. So there's going to be
Right.
a big reveal of why he was activated. What did Batman do that failsafe activated itself? So that's the big.
Look, I got a question for you about this book, right? I've noticed that this guest artist this week, this issue by Leonardo Romero.
Yeah.
How's the art compared to your regular, the excellent Jorge Jimenez?
I think yeah, the art did not bother me at all. I mean, it's
Okay.
a very fluid read, so I think Leonardo Romero did a decent job. So
Okay.
yeah, so it didn't bother me at all. So Batman, Chip Zdarsky, 100% recommendation. Go for it, read it.
Okay.
It is Batman.
I can't wait.
And then after a long time, one of my favorite Justice Society characters got his own title.
It's only
So
one shot, but you'll take it, right?
yeah, but I'll take it. I'll take whatever I get. It's written by Brian Q. Miller and all. So yeah, that is Doctor Fate, and it's a prequel to the Black Adam movie, which drops October 22nd. So I'm hyped for it. So Doctor Fate again, Kent Nelson. He has the helmet of Naboo.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a kind of a standalone story where
Okay.
he stops like these bunch of kids who are trying to like resurrect this witch. And while doing that, he gets a premonition of what's happening with Black Adam, that there is a new force, new evil rising.
Yeah.
And he gets a call from Hawkman that, hey man, we have a mission. Are you ready to form the JSA again?
Sure.
So yeah, so it was not exactly a super heavy tie-in to the movie or something. It
Right.
was like a solo story featuring Dr. Fate and how he defeats this witch.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he gets a premonition and a call. So
Mm-hmm.
hopefully it plays some way in the movie of where Pierce Brosnan's character is, and gives us some extra details. It's a good issue. I totally dug it. Dr. Fate. I like all the doctors: Dr. Fate, Dr. Strange, Doctor Who. So yeah, so so it was a good issue. It was a good solo issue. So if you're looking for a Dr. Fate story, you don't know who the character is, you've never heard of him and what he does. This gives you like a good like jumping on point of who Dr. Fate is.
Cool. All right. All right. DC man, what do you got next?
DC Man has two things next. First is Dark Crisis: The Deadly Green, which is again a one shot. I thought it's gonna be a Swamp Thing issue, because it says Deadly Green initially.
Yeah.
It features the Swamp Thing, but it is not exactly a Swamp Thing issue.
Okay.
So what it is basically like, so the Dark Crisis is going on and the Great Darkness is coming. But now these bunch of
Okay.
heroes who are alive, they want to understand what the Great Darkness is and how to confront it. So Pariah, the evil Pariah, is unleashing the Great Darkness, and these guys want to like figure out like how to understand the Great Darkness. And to do that, what they have to do is they have to go inside the darkness. And how do they do that? It's basically Alan Scott's son, Obsidian. He brings in darkness because he's one of those characters. So they go. So he has this whole. He's connected to the darkness. So he sends John Kent, Superman, and the Raven, from Titans, and Swamp Thing into the darkness.
Right.
So using his powers, and the whole idea is for them to like understand like what makes the darkness tick, and they do find that out, and that's what this whole issue is all about. If
Yeah.
you're reading Dark Crisis and you're not picking this issue up, the regular Dark Crisis book, you will have probably a little bit of a challenge.
Oh, I'm quite aware what's happening. The issue of Dark Crisis. I'm
Yeah.
not reading it.
Yeah, you're not reading it, but so then we come to the main issue of Dark Crisis, which is a follow-up to this.
Oh God, I can't believe you're reading this crap. All right.
I'm reading the Marvel Acts 2.
Oh,
So
I
yeah.
can't believe you're reading that crap either.
I gave it on. It's on. I didn't buy the latest issue of it. I want to finish it off, man, because I've read like I'm on issue 5 in this, and I'm on also issue 5 on that.
All
So
right. I mean, hey, you know what? At least on one positive end, the art for both books are pretty good. Daniel Sampere is a very good artist. I flipped through this book when I was at Midtown yesterday. The art is beautiful. What if it's messy as the story is, and well, has poorly written and poorly plotted as it is, the art it is gorgeous. For that alone, I guess is you could take that to some whatever. Yeah. All right. Lohit, go ahead. Go on.
okay, so thank you for the rant, but it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
It's not.
So it's not that bad. But so what it is basically that Pariah has trapped in all these main Justice League superheroes. He's draining their life forces, their life energy, because they are
Right.
the alpha superheroes like Prime, Earth Zero, And what he's trying to do is he's trying to end this omniverse which is there, using these life forces. So how he has trapped them is basically he's given them these
Happy place.
imaginary worlds where they're
Yep.
like, yeah, really happy and all. And again, the Flash, Green Lantern, and a couple of other superheroes are trying to bring them out. So this issue deals with them getting Superman and Batman out because they are like the number one and number two guys, basically, So, and then kind of rescuing the other leaguers. So that is arc number one. Arc number two is again, Deathstroke is attacking the Hall of Justice, and he has decimated them once before. So all these heroes are trying to muster up their courage, especially Nightwing. And the idea is basically that he's trying to defeat the forces of Deathstroke. And now Superman and other Justice Leaguers will also join him. And the end panel, is phenomenal. Of course, like, when you thought that Pariah was down and out, he pulls in something out of his big leather jacket, and then, and that's what it is all about. So look, I will be honest here. This is not the best Crisis event of all time. I wouldn't say that.
There haven't been any good listen, there haven't been any good Crisis events since Final Crisis. I mean, not Final Crisis, Infinite Crisis. Okay, Final Crisis bad, Heroes in Crisis bad. This is crappy. This is a crappy Crisis bad. Dude, anyways,
but between the crappy crises,
this is the least crappiest.
No, I mean, like, the least crappiest is definitely Heroes in Crisis. And 0 Hour.
Here's the thing, though.
0 Hour.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I read issue 1, right? At least I read this book. Yeah, I actually read this book.
Yeah.
All right. Unlike Final Crisis, which is I can't read that book at all. It feels like it felt like Grant Morrison was on crack and wrote on a drug binge. I'm like, what the hell is this crap? Right. At least this one, you're like, okay, it's not very well plotted, but at least I understand what's going on. Right.
Exactly. So it's got that going on for it. And look, Joshua Williams has been writing like 10 DC titles at this point of time, so we need to give him a break.
He has that image book, remember the one Dark Ride?
Yeah, he's also doing one image book, so we have to give him a break. So he's that guy.
DC needs to find better, not better, better writers too. Don't just rely on him. You know what I'm saying? He's only so much that one man can do. When he gets burned out, everything he writes suffers.
Again, you know that one word I use every time to describe a comic book: bombastic. Yeah. That it's not that. That's what I'm not getting out of it. That punch, or like that gut punch of that universe is ending. So Jeff Johns, Phil Jimenez, Infinite Crisis did that for you.
Yeah, there's again, like this book doesn't make any sense because issue 1, right? You have John Kent goes around, try to form the new version of Justice League with the remaining heroes. Right. They all turn them down. And suddenly now they're all like, oh yeah, let's join forces now. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense at all.
And
you know what I mean?
That usually a crisis book is focusing on a crisis.
Right.
The crisis is somewhere in the background, and we are dealing with all of this. So, right. It's a little bit convoluted. I understand that. I understand the hate against it. But again, I don't know. Maybe if I read it as a trade, probably it all makes sense. So I don't know, but but it is a little bit lackluster. But I just look for that punch. It's still not over. There, I think 2 or 3 issues more. So I will ride out my wave.
No, there's more. Remember, there's also an Omega issue too.
There's an Omega issue too. Oh yeah, that's because they want to bring out what is.
Oh yeah, they're gonna relaunch DC again 3 years after the relaunch to the first time.
Absolutely. So they do a lot of reboots. So I'm still okay.
All right. What other DC books you read? You say you read a bunch of DC books.
Yep. So that is that. Okay. What else is my next DC book?
Flashpoint?
Was there a Flashpoint book this week? Yeah. I haven't read. I missed out on the Flashpoint Beyond issue 6. I think I'll get it. I'll definitely read it. I think I missed it out. I didn't know it was coming.
Okay. I think that's the last issue of the series.
Oh, I wanted to read that then. I will definitely. I've read all the 5 issues and I like it. I bought the Joker issue, so the next one for me is the Joker.
You told me you're not going to buy it.
Look, here's the thing. I like the James Tynion 4 and the Gilliam March and the Matthew Rosenberg run. I didn't mind it. I didn't hate it. It went into different directions. It shouldn't have been called a Joker book because it was Commissioner Gordon.
All right, okay.
Predominantly.
It's your money, buddy. I mean, yeah.
But this was good. This features the Joker. It's Matthew Rosenberg and Francesco Francavilla, who's getting a lot of work nowadays. So art was sublime. And what this is basically Joker is coming back to Gotham now. and taking down all these small crime lords who have popped up at the time he was gone, because he was gone in Arkham War. When that happened, he left Gotham, and now he's back. And then he decimates like bunch of these small time gang bosses. Then he's approached by Two-Face and Riddler and the Black Mask, and they say that, Joker, get out of here, you have no place here anymore, you're not relevant. So then Joker gets an idea. Yeah, I'm not relevant. Why should I be only relevant in Gotham City? I should be relevant across America. So he goes down like totally like national, and he takes down like all those major crime bosses in New York and Chicago and LA. And that's where this book is going, So, and then he announces on national television that, hey guys, the Joker is back. So now there is a twist at the end. I can't give that away. It's there on the cover too, to be honest, and I should have seen this coming, but the twist got me, there is a twist at the end. So, and yeah, I'll just say 3 Jokers and then I'll move on. And I like these Joker books. I continue to buy them, so yeah, I think Matthew Rosenberg knows where he's going this time. So, yeah, I guess, that's my last DC book, man.
All right. I got 2 more books. They're all
facsimile.
No, I can't do it. That was $7. I already bought the action comics.
Okay.
If it's on sale, I'll pick it up. But anyways, all right. That's my last 2 books are from Dark Horse. There we go. So the first one is right there. Minor Threat number 2.
This one, the Francavilla, Francis.
Okay. It doesn't matter. It's the other cover is right. Yeah, the one on the. Yeah, there you go. All right. Now this written by Patton Oswalt, the comedian actor. Now, and Jordan Blum of I think he's actually run Blumhouse Studios.
That's Jason Blum.
I think the brothers.
Probably.
Yeah. I know some people don't like Patton Oswalt's politics or whatever. Put that aside. This book is very well written. Okay. This is my pick of the week. I think I told you premise last time that you got this character. She used to be a supervillain. After she got out of jail, she couldn't find a job, so she ended up working at a bar where C-listed supervillains go. Her character is kind of like a cross between Harley Quinn and Toyman. All right. And previous issue, there's a supervillain called Stickman. Okay, he killed Insomniac, which is that world version of Batman, and it's a psychic called Kid Dusk, which of course is Robin. And Insomniac goes crazy, start taking out on all the villains. So she decided, just to make sure, keep the damage to a minimum. She gathered a group of these, loser villains and try to find Stickman and kill him before Insomniac kills all of them, right? And this issue they introduced a character, I forgot the name, is kind of like that version of the Riddler. He figured out where Stickman is, and he goes there, and it turned out to be this trap by what's it, Insomniac, to kill all the villains that went that place. Dude, it's freaking good. I was surprised how well written it is, and all the characters you could tell which they're after. Especially this one. I'll show you this. It's pretty cool. Over here, right? You got that like this one over here. You see it? Look here.
Can you put it a little bit front in the camera?
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can.
So that's that version of Captain America beating up that version of Wizard. Anyways, yeah. If you read the book, it has this strong Black Hammer feel to it. So you get like which character is supposed to be a takeoff, the original Marvel DC character over here.
Yeah. Okay.
So
it's an Elseworld Marvel DC take. So yeah.
Yeah. We're very much like Black Hammer too, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Right. It's well written. The action's great. Art fits the story. Really, really enjoy it, dude. I love issue 1. I'm loving issue 2 as well.
This is Dark Horse, so there will be a collected edition at some point.
Yeah.
I will definitely buy that. So yeah, okay, cool, man. So always good to know there's something Black Hammer in life.
Yeah. All right. Our last book is Scott Snyder's Night of the Ghoul #1. Now, though he has read all of them because this was available through Comixology for a few months. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a Comixology, so I have to buy it. I have to read it the regular way. All right, paper print. I'm glad that Dark Horse Comics is printed out. So this is issue 1. It's a horror book, a horror series. I thought it was pretty good. Lohi, did you like this book?
Issue 1, I was a little bit doubtful and skeptical,
Really?
but once I jumped onto issue 2, 3, and the rest, then
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is good. This is good. So issue 1 did not have me fully convinced. Where does issue 1 end? Okay, you can say that, but I think I was so what this is about is that there is this guy, and he goes to this kind of psychiatric hospital, kind of this where this old man is being kept, and he goes and meets him. So this old man turns out he's like a director. So he's like a big shot director, and he is he had made this one movie called Night of the Ghoul, which is basically the title of the book.
Right.
And the whole idea is that but that.
And then you get to Lohi, what's your screen's frozen again, buddy?
Is it? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're fine. Yeah. So you were saying, go ahead.
Yeah. So okay. So basically, what this whole thing is about is that he finds this director who's who's in this hospital and probably on his deathbed, and then he says that I found these kind of
lost
prints of your movie, but I only have like the first and the second half. I don't have like the final part. So and it is great, and I feel that it should be shown to the world. And this guy, he's like one of those guys who recreates old movie films, and he transfers them to like digital. What is the connection? So kind of reconnects that.
Right. Yeah, he found this. He was doing like going through like old PSAs, and he found like a reel with part of this film. Well, which one thing I really liked was that they go between the stories, like the 3 stories, right? You have the story with the main character talking to the film director. Then you have the story of what do you call it? Actual scenes from the movie, right?
Yeah, the first half of the movie.
Right. Well, bits and pieces of the movie, because actually what they show like the art is that you can see actually do like the film being like burned out, you can see like a clip of it or whatever.
Absolutely.
And then there's a story with one of the characters from the movie takes place in World War II, where this bunch of American GIs are supposed to infiltrate this this village that's held by Nazis, and then they see a lot of like gruesome stuff and stuff like that. Then the other thing is like one of the GIs comes home, and the son of the GI realizes something wrong with his father.
True that. So it's got like so this is like it gives you a lot. But I was still not convinced after issue 1. I was
issue 1 over here ends. I don't think it'll be good. It's a spoiler. It ends with the pictures of X-ray.
Okay. Fair enough. So yeah. So like I said, it's a very good book. I have read all of it. So definitely pick it up. It is October. If you're looking for a good horror book, this is one of the best horror books out there at the moment. So yeah, and as in when you read the next issues, it gets deeper. And
I can't wait. Yeah, I gotta say, look here, like for a while there, I was really doubting, Scott Snyder, but the last couple of years, I've been liking his stuff. His I like what do you call it? Stark Space Wildfire. He does IDW right now. I think is really good. And the first issue of this is really good. We have Demons. He's was pretty good. What's an Image series? What was the name of the Image series he did with Tony S. Daniels? I can't remember. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, that was that one with the big PM.
What was the name of that?
Then everything is dark.
Yeah. I thought that was really good, especially you have Tony S. Daniels art. So far, I'm excited. So far, Scott Snyder has getting my goodwills back after last couple of years of DC doing putting out really bad
The
stuff.
only thing I hate about Scott Snyder is when he wants to like just put in words.
Yes, he does
Just
seem
put
to
in
do that.
words for the sake of it.
Yeah, he does a lot
Because
of
he's a writer.
unnecessary exposition.
So yeah, I think he should focus more on story, and he's a good storyteller. There's
He
no
is.
doubt
He
about it.
is. I mean,
Yeah,
like some of his early Batman stuff is some of the best Batman story I've ever read.
absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think that's his strength. I think horror is his strength a little bit. He should focus more on that. I also like Undiscovered Country. I have to follow up the second trade and the third trade. I think I haven't done that. I will do that.
Okay.
So yes, couple of, and American Vampire was pretty good. So there's an
From my understand, my friend Sean, he says the first one's really good.
First one is really good.
Yeah, really good, but the second one is really
It's the
bad.
quality. He's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. There's no doubt. I haven't read 1976 yet, so I can't comment on it. But the first one is really good. And I think he was doing when he was doing volume 2 of American Vampire, he was also doing Batman, and I'm sure he has to divide
Sean said the whole American Vampire, the second part where he goes to space, is just really nonsensical.
Yeah.
All right. So we are done this week. Again, we want to know that what books did you buy this week? What you can recommend to us, and have our recommendations sold on you to try these books out. Again, my pick of the week is Minor Threat number 2, and Lohit is Junkyard Joe number 1. All right. Let me do mine too.
Hey,
look, Lohit, I got a foil logo cover. Ha! I like that.
I got lips, baby.
Oh, all right. And on that note, we're gonna say goodbye. So, like, subscribe, and share. And until next time, Lohit, I got bad news for you. There will be no next week.
Because?
I only got 4 books. I'm not even going to the comic store.
Okay. I'll see what I have.
Okay.
Yeah. If not, then we skip a week. Then we do the next week.
Okay, cool.
We'll see you when we see you guys.
Take care. Right. Enjoy. Have a good Thursday. Have a good weekend. Goodbye and good night. Bang.